Hi everybody, Chris Egan, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. So we are in the summer here of 2021 and you've probably heard by now that we're in a crazy real estate market. So what does that actually mean? I thought we would break down some of the houses that we have sold so far this year and show you what happened kind of behind the scenes as far as how many offers we got, what we were asking, and then what they sold for, and then what some of the other terms were that were offered with that offer. Because a lot of times it's public knowledge what the house is sold for, but you don't always know how many offers were received or what kind of other terms were offered with those offers. So I thought I'd kind of peel back the curtain and show you some of those, so it will either help you as a buyer to be more informed to make your offer more aggressive to get it accepted. This house we put on the market back in March, and it was in Midtown Omaha and Benson, and it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, no garage, and was listed for $159,000. We have 6 offers on this property, and 4 were conventional, 2 were cash. And so the seller was deciding between the cash and conventional and then obviously the price point. So this one, they ultimately accepted an offer of $171,000, and then with that offer there was no inspection contingency and no appraisal contingency. So it was essentially a straight across deal for the seller where they didn't have any contingencies in the contract where the buyer could get out. Now this next house was a split entry in Northwest Omaha, and this is why this job is so fun, because it always keeps me on my toes. This property was $185,000 is what we listed it for, and that was kind of at the top of the market for where this house, where we thought it should be compared to the comparable sales. This house had a total of 18 offers on it in the 3 days it was on the market. I would have never guessed that it would have gotten that many offers. The sellers ultimately ended up accepting an offer of $210,000. With that $210,000, they had no inspection contingency, and then also, this is a big one, is they waived the appraisal contingency. So meaning that no matter what the house appraised for, if it appraised for $200,000 or $190,000, the buyer was going to make up that difference between the $210,000 and whatever shortfall it appraised at. Luckily, we did get it appraised for that $210,000, so it didn't matter. But that was helped the seller to make that decision to go with that offer because of the fact that they didn't have to worry about the appraisal coming in low. The other thing that that helped make the seller's decision on this one is that the buyer actually paid $1,100 towards the seller's closing costs. So directly coming off of their title and escrow closing fees was that $1,100. So essentially just put that back into the seller's pocket. Now this house is a 2-story house, was a former celebrity home out in Southwest Omaha. We priced this one, it was super clean, everything was in good shape. We priced this one at $230,000. This one had a total of 17 offers on it and was on the market for just a couple days as well. So what the sellers ultimately accepted on this one was $251,000, and then the buyer paid $5,000 towards the seller's closing costs. So essentially made the offer $256,000, but on paper shows $251,000. They also had where they were making up an appraisal shortfall up to $10,000, and then they didn't do an inspection. Now here's a little bit bigger 2-story home, again in Southwest Omaha, and this house was immaculate, was absolutely in perfect condition, was at the top of the price point for the neighborhood. So we priced this one at $385,000. This one we had 6 offers on, and wasn't quite as competitive as some of the other ones we just talked about, but this one ended up selling for $415,000, and then the buyer agreed to make up a $20,000 appraisal shortfall in the event that it appraised for up to $20,000 less than the $415,000. So they also with that did no inspection. So if you're a buyer in this market and you've been making offers on properties, I wanted to kind of give you this behind the scenes, because sometimes all you will hear is that your offer wasn't accepted, but you don't know why. You don't know if it was because of the price or could it have been the other terms. You just don't know that. So I thought this would be helpful for some people to see what kind of terms are being accepted by buyers. And this is in no way trying to say that we're the greatest realtors in the world because we're selling houses for way over market and all that. Most realtors are doing that if the house is in clean and positioned correctly. But it's just to show you the activity in the market and what buyers are willing to do to get a house. As you can see with all 4 of these, all of them waived inspections, and a couple of them even waived either appraisals or agreed to make appraisal differences. And then in a couple of the cases, they paid a portion of the seller's closing costs. We've done other videos about tips and tricks to get your offer accepted. You can check that out right here. But this way, I wanted to kind of show you what the sellers have been accepting and what it looks like from their perspective. Of course, thanks for checking out another video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.